Now, see, the last class we discussed about we are discussing which topic here, automation testing using Selenium with Java. This is the topic which are learning automation tester. Okay. Now, last class I explained about the introduction to automation testing. Introduction to automation testing, where I explained. So, what are the topics we covered there? What is software testing? Technically, what we can say, it is a combination of verification and validation. Software testing is a combination of verification and validation. So, types of software testing. We have the two types. One is called manual testing. The second one is called automation testing. What is manual testing? Without using any automation tool, test engineer directly interact with application to verify actual behavior while performing operations is called manual testing. Without using any automation tool, test engineer directly interact with application to verify actual behavior while performing operations is called manual testing. Is called manual testing. But when you go for the manual testing, what are the disadvantages? Time consuming, inconsistency, lack of reliability. Then automation testing. What is that automation testing? Automating human activities in order to validate the application is called automation testing. What are the different possibilities are there for automation testing? We can go for the programming languages, or we can use some scripting languages, or we can use some third-party tools like Selenium, Qtp, Tosca, Test Complete, QRun, Playwright, Cypress. So the various tools are available. Okay, advantage is fast in execution, more consistency, more reliable, and automation test scripts are reusable and repeatable. Reusable means once you develop the automation test script, the script is reusable on different versions of the application. Different versions of the application. Second thing, repeatable. You can able to run the script n number of times. Multiple iterations we can take. There's a possibility. Advantages. Then I explain about the project selection criteria for automation testing. How we are going to decide which projects we can go for automation testing. Generally, who is the responsible for that? Test manager is the responsible to decide whether we can go for the automation testing or not. But what are the major factors they are going to consider? First, they have to see the size of the project. Size of the project. That means, see, size of the project when we are going to say, students are going to understand if more users are using, that is going to be project. It is not. So it depends on the number of functionalities availability in the application. How many functions are there in the application? There is function point analysis. Okay. The project selection criteria for automation testing. Size of the project, number of functionalities. Then more resource required if I go for manual testing. There are some scenarios which are going to take the more time when I go for manual testing. So client accepted in terms of budget, Application environment should support to do the automation testing. These are the factors to be considered to decide. Then automation tool selection criteria. There are a number of tools are available and different category of tools are available. Like we have the commercial tools, non-commercial tools. Commercial tool and a non-commercial tool. Now, commercial tool means here we have to buy the license. Non-commercial, no need to buy the license. So how they can decide here depends on the three factors. One is return on investment. How much budget allocated for testing? In that budget, can we go for the commercial or non-commercial tool? Second thing, usability of tool. Whichever tool is there here, usability of the tool. That means is it tool is going to generate the automation test script automatically. Some tools have this kind of capability. No need to write the script manually. So where it is going to be generate the automation test script using recording option, or we can go for the drag and drop script is going to be generated for us. No need to write the script manually. Now, then if you want to write the script manually, is it easy or not? Ease of execution. After execution, the tool is going to provide the test results in the desired format or not. So these are the things we have to check. Then compatibility of the tool. Compatibility means here. So what type of environment it's going to support? So I have the Windows-based application. The tool is going to support or not. I have the web-based application. If the tool is going to support or not. So mobile application is there. Is it going to support or not? We have to check it is like that. So the compatibility. The other things we have to consider. Then automation, testing team activities. What we have to do first, selection of tool. Which tool we can go for the automation testing? Selection of the tool. After selection of the tool, they go for the scenarios identification. What type of scenarios we can go for the automation testing? Mhm. Selection tools identification. Next, Now, here, based on the scenarios and which tool we are going to use, define coding standards. After define the coding standards, so define suitable framework. An automation architect will going to provide them what type of framework is suitable for the current project to automate. So after that, where we are going to involve, develop automation test script, execution of automation test script, effect report after analyze the reports, then maintenance, then maintenance. So these are the activities where we are going to do. So some of the major activities during manual testing and automation testing. If I go for the manual testing, what are the activities we can do it is like first we have to identify the scenarios. Based on those scenarios, we need to develop the automation test script. We need to develop the automation test script. After you develop the automation test script, okay. So automation testing means first identify the automation test scenarios. Based on those scenarios, we have developed the automation test script, execution of the script, analyze the result, defect reporting, getting it fixed. Those are the major activities when you go for the automation testing. If I go for the manual testing, what are the major activities? Here, scenarios identification. After identifying the scenarios, we have to go for the test cases preparation, execution of test cases, defect reporting, getting it fixed. So these are the activities where we are going to perform. So what type of scenarios are preferred for automation testing? And then the last one, scenarios which are suitable for automation testing. So in general, scenarios which are more repeatable, again and again we have to perform testing, and complex to perform manually. Scenarios which are more repeatable and complex to perform manually, those kind of scenarios we are going to prefer for automation testing, like build verification test scenarios, regression test scenarios. The retesting scenarios are preferred for automation testing. Generally, the list of scenarios will be provided to the test engineers where we have to develop the automation test script. Test lead is going to provide the list of scenarios for us. The next thing, for one project, for one project, we can have the manual testing team as well as automation testing team. Both teams can work for the same project. There will be manual testing team and automation testing team. Both can work for the same project. But automation testing is an option for some of the projects, right? So these are the topics which I explained in the last class. Yeah, there's an announcement from tomorrow. They're saying the link is going to be changes for whoever Want to continue the classes, or only student who joined? Those students saying that have registered the class. Okay. Now, today we are going to see introduction to the selenium. So when you talk about the selenium here, so first point where we are going to see, it is a free tool or non-commercial tool. Free tool or non-commercial tool. So free tool or non-commercial tool means no need to pay any amount here. Directly we can download from the internet, which we can use in our project for testing. Right. So next point, it is an open source tool. So what is that open source tool means? So open source tool means here, Selenium source code is available. If anyone interested to, if anyone interested to update, so Selenium features, they will give the source code. You can update it. Is if we go for the commercial tools, licensed tools, if you ask it, they won't provide. So this is the free tool which is available and code also available. You can update it is. Okay, that's what they're saying it is. So what type of testing we can do using Selenium? Using Selenium, we can able to automate so functionality testing and regression testing. These are the testings we can able to do. So it is used to perform functionality and regression testing. So what type of applications we can automate? Selenium supports only web-based applications to automate. Only web-based applications we can automate. Only web-based application. That's the reason Selenium we can say it is a browser automation tool. Browser automation tool. Support the cross-browser testing the on multiple browser supports. Multiple browsers it supports. Next thing, supports the multiple operating systems also. So, but with the extension of Appium tool, by using the tool combination, we can able to automate mobile applications. Selenium plus Appium tool combination, we can able to do the mobile application testing. Only Selenium not possible. We have to use another tool also. So when you talk about the Selenium, there are a suite of tools. we have the suite of tools. Components we have. Suite of tools, different components are there. Sir, what are the components are there in the Selenium? There are four components: Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. These are the four components are there. Okay, very first one we have the Selenium IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Integrated Development Environment. So it is a plugin for Firefox and Chrome and Edge browsers. Directly we can't install it. Is what we can do here. We need to install this one as a plugin for your browsers. As a plugin for your browsers, you have to install it. Is supports the record and playback concept. It is. So Selenium IDE have the feature here record and playback. So what is the meaning of recording? Suppose my here you have the Selenium IDE, the tool is there, and this is your application is there. Here is the AUT application under test. Now there is an option called for recording. So you have the recording option is there. When you click on the record button, if you do some operation on your application, what happens? Whichever operations you do on your application, by default, what happens here? Some statements are going to be generated. Some statements are going to be generated. So that is the automation test script to generate cities. Okay, that is the recording. Meaning here, converting our actions or operations which we perform on application into the automation test script is called recording. Okay. Converting our actions or operations which we perform on AUT into the automation script is called a recording. Same way, once script is developed, you run the script, you execute your script. Execution time, whichever operations you've done while recording, same operation, it will go into playback on your application. That is the playback we are going to for record and playback. But in practical mode, this concept is not going to be preferred. This tool is not going to be preferred. Why? We have the limitations. What are the limitations are there? The script is not possible to parameterize. You can't do any enhancements in the script. Like you want to pass the values from the Excel sheet. You can't do that one when you go for the Selenium IDE. It won't create the test results in the desired format also. Understandable way also. It won't create it is our test result. Mhm. It won't create the test results in the desired format. Script is not repeatable. We can't go for the loops for loop you want to use. You can't use it. Is script is not repeatable. These are the limitations we have. So in practical, understand in practical, so Selenium ID is not preferred. Okay. Next we have the Selenium IDE. So Selenium RC, remote control. RC stands for remote control. Can execute test cases on different browsers, but RC has the many disadvantages. So to overcome the disadvantages which are there in the Selenium RC, they introduced Selenium WebDriver. They introduced the Selenium WebDriver. So alternative for the Selenium RC. So whenever they introduced Selenium WebDriver from there onwards, Selenium got the more popularity. Then Selenium Grid execute the test case in parallel. That means so I have developed my automation test scripts. So about three scripts I developed. Each script is going to take 1 hour time. If I execute all the three scripts I want to execute, 3 hours time it going to take. Then what I can do? So I can connect the different systems remotely here. Okay. From here, I can provide the connection here. So using Selenium Grid, I can able to execute my test script at a time on different systems in different devices. I can able to execute so that within 1 hour I can complete the execution. That's the advantage. There is a parallel execution which I am going to call. Right now, see history of the Selenium. History of the Selenium. Selenium 1.0. It was introduced by Jason Huggins in 2004. What are the components in Selenium 1.0 we have? So we have the Selenium IDE, the beginning when they introduced Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, and Selenium Grid. These are the various components are there. Now, but RC, Grid one both are deprecated, not available. So who introduced this one? Jason Huggins. Jason Huggins and a person where he is working, ThoughtWorks company is working. Generally, internal users purpose, they developed the one tool called JavaScript Runner. Okay, after the work is complete, they want to give something to society. They release the public it is by changing a name as Selenium instead of JavaScript Runner. Because at that time, in 2004, they thought it is. They want to give the competition for the Mercury Interactive Corporation too, such as QTP, Windrunner, these two, they want to give the competition. So even they dreamed it on 2004, but they got succeeded now. 2016 onwards, everywhere Selenium one. There's no QTP. Before this, we have the only automation testing is QTP. Okay. Then Selenium 2.0, it was introduced in 2010. Right. Now, so component Selenium 2.0, Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, Remote WebDriver are Grid 2. Now they given alternative for the RC WebDriver, but still they maintained RC. If you observe that Edge browser, IE browser, both from the Microsoft only. Whenever they introduce Edge browser, Immediately they are not given the, they are remove the IE browser. So some 2 years they kept it is to see how the users are going to use it is, whether this is going to satisfy or not. Once they got some component on this Edge browser, they remove the IE browser. It is right for like this. The Selenium 3.0, it was introduced in 2016. Now there is no RC, they completely removed it. We have Selenium IDE, Selenium WebDriver or WebDriver. Then we have the remote WebDriver or Grid 2. Yeah. Okay. The stable version which we have earlier 3.141.59. After that onwards, continue they updating the Selenium Java. In present version, we have the 4.35.0. When it was introduced yesterday only, August 12th, 2024. So how do you know? There is an official website for the Selenium. Selenium Div. If I go, we have the Selenium WebDriver, Selenium ID, Selenium Grid. If I go for downloads, you can see my here 4.35.0 June 29th they given. But there is an upcoming version more. They did not published it here. In this website only you have it. Selenium 4.35.0 also they given. When August or yesterday. Website need to update it is. Selenium Java 4.35.0 it is. August 12th. So yesterday. Sir, which version we are going to learn? So there are a lot of versions are there. This many versions are there. Lot of versions. So we'll go for the recent updated version. Selenium 4.35.0 we are going to discuss. Okay. A stable version 3.141. Present version Selenium 4.3. Where the URL is, this is the one. So when you go for the Selenium, what are the advantages are there and what are the disadvantages are there? If I go for the Selenium, the advantages will be it is a free, supports multiple programming languages to develop automation test scripts, supports multiple browsers, supports multiple browsers. So can execute test cases in parallel. Even the commercial tools, you don't have this kind of option, parallel execution. Okay. Disadvantages are supports only web-based applications. Programming skills are mandatory when you go for the Selenium. Programming skills are mandatory, not user friendly. No official support is available. So programming skills are mandatory, not user friendly. No official support is available. It won't generate the reports by default. That's the reason we are going to use the reporting tools, log4j, extend reports like this, allo report, like report other third-party tools we are going to for the reports. It won't support the Node.js, React.js, and the Flex technologies. So the limitations are there. Compared to the advantages of the Selenium, I given the more disadvantage. But this is the point will gives the more weightage for the Selenium. It is a free tool. If I go for the commercial tools, one seat license, earlier we have the 6.5 lakhs for the QTP. Because of the same competition, they reduced to 1.5 lakh only. That much competition it is giving for us. Okay. So these are the disadvantages we have. So this is the overview about the Selenium. Now, what I will do, no, not registered. Tomorrow I will go and explain the Selenium WebDriver. So I will go and explain to you how to do the configuration of Selenium. Then practicals are going to start. Okay. So that is a class for us today. So a little bit late I joined because of the rain. I stuck in traffic. But tomorrow 8 o'clock session is going to start. Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye.